Welcome, everyone. This is Flashpoint Friday. My name's Austin, and I want to welcome you in on this very special Flashpoint Friday. How you doing? How was the week? Check in with yourself. That's number one. Whatever has happened has happened. You're at this point in time, and I want you to get something today. Someone's going to click on this, and they're going to get something from this. Someone's going to give something. They're going to type into the comment. Either way, see if you can be present. And that leads me into setting up the show. My name's Austin Haynes. If you've never been here before, I am the creator and founder of Flashpoint. Your turnaround story starts here. And perhaps this is the one thing that you might get, is that there is a breakthrough in your future. Let's set the show up today. I have a lot to cover. I want to jump right in. The first thing we highlight in the show is the hourglass. The hourglass is our reminder to be in the present moment. What has happened has happened. We want to avoid the regret. We've all made mistakes. We've all made them. I don't want you to live there anymore. I want you to step here. We also can't live in the future, right? There's so many things that we think we have to do, and so many things coming at us all the time. Certainly, we create our vision from the future. We can learn from the past, but this is where we are right now. This is where you are. So make a commitment, set an intention right now. You're going to get something from this, or you're going to give something. I'm glad you're here. So that's the hourglass. The next thing we highlight is the Thomas Edison light bulb. This is a replica that I purchased up in Menlo Park, the exact site of where the light bulb was invented by Thomas Edison. And this is a reminder for us. No matter how many times we think we failed, we don't got it right, we ain't got it right. I'm going to create words and my own phrases here today. We've just successfully created ways it doesn't work. Say this with me. Failure is feedback. Say it. Failure is feedback. Failure is my ability to course correct and make it better than it was before. Amen. Let's get an amen here. We're going to throw in all kinds of fun things today. And the last thing is the cowbell. And the cowbell, we just need more cowbell in our lives. Admit it. Admit it to yourself. You need more cowbell. We use the cowbell to highlight great learning moments throughout the show, and I trust there's going to be some great ones with us today. All right. Today, we've changed. Today is a lesson already. I'm going to bring I work hard to be transparent. Actually, I don't work hard to be transparent anymore, but it does take some getting out of your comfort zone. And today's show changed. We had a change of plans already. I bring to you about an hour ago, Michelle was on here. I was chatting with Michelle. I'm like, what's the show going to be? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the show is going to be about today. But we trust what shows up. Can you trust what shows up? Can you trust what shows up? So the sub-theme for today is accountability. We have a special guest who I'm going to bring on here in a minute, who's a mystery guest you're going to get to meet. And I want you to think about the word accountability. I'm going to share the first quote that I have with you about accountability. Accountability is a major theme in our community right now. And accountability is helping people that we're working with accelerate at ways they've never before experienced. And we are going to continue to drive that forward. So today's quote, I'm going to pull out the board here. Yay, I even got more props. Hopefully this translates to you. But accountability breeds responsibility. Accountability breeds responsibility. Stephen R. Covey is one of those people that showed up in my life through his books, who had a major impact on my life, in my sales career for 19 years, in my relationships. And when I saw this quote, it only made sense that it was from Stephen Covey. He's since passed, but he left an incredible legacy behind for many of us. And if you know Stephen Covey's work, you know what I'm talking about. And as I move forward, I'm going to dive more into his work, into the things that I've learned in his work. And I want to bring them to you so you can improve your situation and your relationships, right? So that's the first quote. I'll get to the second one later. That's the theme, accountability. And ask yourself, before I get into today's guest, do you have somebody in your life, a person or a group that truly holds you accountable? Do you have that? And I know it's not a popular topic because when I go to search on it, there's not much on it. Like the big names, you don't hear them talk about accountability that much. But how important is it? How important is it to have that in our lives? And you may say, I know some people that I talk to, you know what they say to me? I need that. I need that accountability. And they step forward. And when you step forward and you get that accountability, your life will grow in exponential ways that you can't fully measure right now. But that's the exciting thing is, and you get out of your comfort zone. Okay, let me just say hello to Michelle. Great quote to start the ACT program with. We'll get into that later. Hello, Carmen. Had a great chat with you today. I'm excited to have you part of our Journey to Freedom group. I'll talk to you more about that. That's something that you can take advantage of as well. And more cowbell, sir. Okay, great. We're going to talk about the cowbell. All right, so let me jump into today. Michelle's saying she's present. Hello, Jenna. Welcome to the show. Okay, let me step into this today because today changed. I was supposed to have Daniela Roman on talking about her book, Behind Closed Doors. And by the way, I'm going to be full transparent. This is not a topic that I normally bring to my show. However, I've had the opportunity to watch Daniela over the years just completely grow and completely talk about somebody getting out of their comfort zone. Watching, did you ever, sometimes you don't realize, and think about this for yourself. We don't realize sometimes we have a front row seat to watch somebody grow. I mean, I got chills right now because you're watching somebody consistently get out of their comfort zone. And when I think about Daniela's journey, and I think about when I met her, to coming out with this book, Behind Closed Doors, think about this topic. Even myself, I'm like, my gosh, is this something I can bring on my platform? It's like, because I feel like it's bigger than me, full transparency. Like it's such a big topic. And, talking about abuse behind closed doors and all the women out there who have stories that they haven't told, that they're sitting on this stuff. And I've had clients come to me that have reached out and they've sat on this abuse and they're sitting there and it's like, and it's almost like, you know what? And that's why today's topic, even though Daniela's not going to be with us, today's topic is going to be extremely valuable because it's going to touch one woman today. It's going to touch a woman and maybe even a man to heal. Because typically abuse is a man who's abused a woman, right? That's the stereotypical context of it. So maybe this is going to touch a woman. Maybe it's going to touch a man. So let me get in. Let's get in. We have a mystery guest for you today. In replace of Daniela, are you ready? We had a drum roll. I don't have a drum roll, but in all seriousness, I'm going to bring on Emilio Roman, Daniela's husband, and this is going to be I guess it's going to be a little deep. So I want to just set you up for this, that this is a deep topic, right? So I want you to do your best to stay with this. All right. I want you to stay with this topic because it is a deep one. Emilio is going to be coming on in lieu of Daniela, talking about this topic, talking about the book. And I think Emilio is going to really inspire you to tell your stories. He's the creator and founder of the Co-Author Network. He's doing amazing things with the Co-Author Network. They got a big event coming up. He's obviously helping. It's no secret. He's behind the curtain helping Daniela with this project that I believe is going to not only create a major impact, it's going to be the book that woman's going to hold in her hands with tears. And she's going to say, this book was a part of my healing journey. So we're on a little bit of sacred ground here today. We're on sacred ground. And before I bring Emilio on, Daniela is saying, sorry, I couldn't be on. Thank you for honoring this subject. So without any further ado, I want to maximize our time. Let me bring on my colleague, friend, Emilio. Emilio. How you doing today, Emilio?
Hey, God bless you, brother. Thank you so much, man, for having us on. And wow, what a beautiful platform you have, Austin. Thank you.
Yes, I'm glad to have you. I know things changed, and we just want to ask everyone to send some love and prayers to Daniela. She's not feeling well today, so that's why she's not with us. But this is the beautiful part about having a partnership in your, a tag team that you, the two of you have a relationship that you're building together, and you're able to come on and talk about this project, because that's what I really want to know, Emilio. I want to dive right in. Are you okay if I dive right in now?
Hey, let's do it, brother. Thank you.
Because this project behind closed doors, it's a very sensitive project, and it almost stops you in your tracks when you see it. So where did this come about? Like, how did this start? Was whose idea was this? Like, tell me, like, where did this come from?
Yeah, amen. Well, as you all know, Austin, my beautiful and supportive wife, how I always introduce her, she's been the backbone of the success that we've had with all our books, right? And so it started with the Spiritual Fitness Survivor book series, which, by the way, your mom is in the book, right?
Yes.
So
hopefully my mom sees this.
This book really inspired a lot of people to come out and tell their story. And so Daniela talked about in there about her domestic violence, and so people were kind of like, wow, I didn't know. That's the reaction with a lot of people who write books. Like, I did not know that you went through that. And honestly, I have to say this, I'm getting goosebumps now. Like you mentioned, her mother, when her mother read the chapter in here, Austin, her mother said, and Danielle was always afraid of what her mother and dad were going to think because she never told them this. Right. Her mother said when she read it, why didn't you tell us, Daniela? We could have helped you. We could have helped you. And that's why this is so important to Daniela, because people don't know and they want to help you. They love you, but we think that we're protecting them in somehow. But we really, if by not sharing your story, not only are you being, I'll be honest with you, selfish, but you really are losing the opportunity to help other women. So without getting too much into that, I just, hopefully you understand how serious and committed Daniela is to this book. She wanted to go ahead and help more people because people said, out of all the chapters, her chapter, people came and said, you inspired me. You inspired me. And people started asking her, can you help me?
Yes. And it takes courage. And that's why I was saying when I started, before I brought you on, I was talking about the courage it takes to get to the point, to not only like to tell your story and to put your book out there, because you get a lot, this book is going to get a lot of attention. And some of it takes a lot of courage to be able to put something like this out, especially even in today's modern world. Things are getting better, but they're not where they need to be in terms of this topic. Let's face it, all the things that we share and grabs attention, sometimes it's these things that need more attention and they don't get it, right? So can you speak to that? Like, was there some nervousness about like when Daniela was going through this, was there some nervousness or some fear or some nervous sighted about getting this topic out?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And again, and thank you again for honoring this topic. For those of you who are aware, those you may not be aware, this month we are in Domestic Violence Awareness Month. This is the month, and this is the month where people wear purple. In fact, so this is the month. And let me share with you, if I may, some sobering statistics about domestic violence. And so this is going to answer the question in full. We're seeing this play out right now on a national level here in this country. Right now, is anyone watching the CNN and you watch about the Gabby Petito? Remember, she and her fiance went out on a hike and he came back.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, she's nowhere to be found. And now they're on a manhunt for him. And so they found her body, I believe. Now they found her body, but he's nowhere to be found. So I want people to pay close attention. Women are more likely to be killed in an intimate partner than men. So women are more apt to die at the hands of domestic violence than men. And this is what really gives me chills. Women ages 20 to 24 are at the greatest risk of becoming victims of domestic violence. Guess what? That young lady, she's 22 years old. She falls right in here with the statistics. And so I'm sharing with your viewers, people who watch this on the replay, this is a real serious subject. Daniela was affected by it. So she had the courage to share it in her book. And she truly is a champion of women, Austin. And so how this came about was she wanted to do something outside of just write a book. She wanted to have other women who felt like her, like they were silenced, right? Like they were silenced, but they didn't have a platform. So behind closed doors, I survived domestic violence, and you can too. I don't know if you can see it. It's closed doors.
Yeah, let me see here. Put it up a little closer here. I'm going to remove my.
Look at this. So you can see here that it has 3 doors, right? 3 doors. And so what happens is a lot of women, right? And again, there's that percentage of men, but mainly women that suffer in silence. And so Daniela currently has 8. She has 8 women who are sharing their story. And this book, if you don't mind me sharing, is going to save lives, because it's really not about the finances with this book, because we're going to contribute part of the proceeds to nonprofit organizations that support and give women help immediately. This book will save lives, Austin. It's going to have a resource site, 1-800 numbers. It's going to have a resource site to help women.
Yeah, so I want to hit this because we have limited time, and I want to make sure we hit this. This book is going to have a major impact. And I know that you still have a couple open spots. If there's one woman out there who's been thinking about this, that maybe they've started their healing journey and they want to be in the book, you still have a spot to do that, correct? How are you handling that process to collect these stories? And so, like, what's the timeline to get this thing completed?
Sure. So thank you for asking. And so in short, we really only have about 2 weeks left to identify 3 people, because we're going to close the book. Literally, we're going to close the chapter on the book. So if you really feel that this is your calling, please reach out to the Co-Author Network info@gmail.com and put in the tagline or the subject line Flashpoint, so we know that this is where you heard about Daniela's book. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. And now what if somebody wants the book? What should they do if they're like, I want to buy this book? Which is there something they can do today, or just follow you and Daniela here?
Sure. Great. So the book, Austin, is going to officially launch on January 8th at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which, by the way, it's going to coincide with our business boot camp, which I believe you are going to be there presenting your message as well.
Yes. So January 8th, you've invited me in to be one of the speakers there. And so that's going to be a great launch pad for this book. So I can only imagine what this is going to do for that space. The people that are going to be attending. Do you want to share a little bit about that? And then we're going to grab some of the people who are
absolutely
hanging in there. I want to grab their shares as well. So,
thank you, Austin. Again, thank you for the opportunity. Daniela truly wishes that she was on here. That's all she was talking about all week. It's like, I can't believe I'm going to be on Austin's show. And so, the mutual deep respect that we have for you, and you are our go-to person, Austin, when it comes to, just lifeline. You'll always give everyone a lifeline. So we love and respect you the utmost. And so with this book, again, reach out because this event is going to culminate with a book launch, and it's going to help so many women.
Yes, it is. Yes, it absolutely is. So let me grab a couple shares here. I want to grab Michelle's share. It takes a lot of courage because that person needs to travel back into that time and relive the pain. And that is Michelle, you just hit a really important theme, because every woman has the courage to do it, but they can't do it by themselves. And we've heard in these stories, when people write the story, it begins their healing journey. So going back in time, although it seems like you don't ever want to go back and feel that again, it's a part of it. It's a part of that healing journey. And you realize you're stronger, or maybe not, strong is not the word, but you're more courageous than you realize, and you're able to overcome it. So Michelle, that's a great share. Jenna's saying Daniela is strong and brave. I'm honored to call you my friend. What a blessing that is. And I just want to share Daniela's quote here. Do you want to read this, Emilio?
Sure, absolutely. I held in for almost 30 years what I had been through, which unknowingly caused a lot of pain, such as depression and eating disorder, anxiety, because I was holding on to all that trauma. It wasn't until I realized my story that the healing process began. So until she released her story, then she began the healing. And I like to add, Austin, that they said that we cannot heal in secret. And so that's what Daniela did. She shared this with me, and it was like a release, a weight just lifted from her. And she had the courage, as some of your viewers have highlighted, and her whole life just changed.
Whole life just changed. And look, she's putting this book. I got chills because, like I said, it's like having a front row seat. So Danielle, I know you're not with us. We love you. We're just so excited and humbled because whatever's going now is going to pass.
Amen.
And you're going to feel better. You're going to get the book done. We're going to attract a couple more authors that are going to be perfect for this book. You're going to bring this book to the world. And I know, just like I said, someone's going to grab this book someday, and this book's going to be a lifeline for them.
Amen.
So I just want to hit that. And I also want to hit on something that I think is really important because I tend to look at things in a bigger picture. And what I say is to me, it comes down to healing.
Yes.
It comes down to healing. Abuse is not accepted in any platform. It's not accepted. It's when I think about men who abuse women, they're not healed. Because now you're going into like a man who's not healed has all this stuff inside of him, brings it out to their loved one, their wife. And you know, when you think about all the chaos and turmoil that can be in somebody, where does it go? It needs to heal. And so I think to the degree that women heal, maybe it helps men heal so we can bring this thing down. So we can prevent this, and we can prevent this stuff from happening in the future by getting the right information. Because Amelia, we can do a great job of acting like everything's okay, can't we?
Yeah, I mean, most of us wearing a mask, literally and figuratively, we're all wearing a mask.
Wearing a mask. And how do you keep something in for 30 years? I've had other people that reach out, and this is not my sweet spot, by the way. This is not my area, but I've had people that have reached out to me that I've worked with, and the theme is the same. And I feel like you take on someone else's energy, and when you take on think about it, you're taking on someone's violent energy, and you're not letting it out, and you're just holding it in, and you're like it's yours when it's not yours. And writing this story is the release of that. You're giving yourself permission to get it out of you and release it, so you can release yourself from that energy and begin to heal. And you know, you've heard this: hurt people, healed people, heal people.
It's the truth, man. It's the truth, Austin. And again, thank you again for highlighting the subject. I know you said that it's not your sweet spot. It's not a subject that you normally introduce, but I know that there will be that one person that this message will resonate with, and we encourage you to reach out to us. Again, let us know that you heard about this and you're interested in learning more. If you want to participate in the book, we vet all our co-authors. So again, co-author networkinfo@gmail.com. Or if you just want to support the cause, domestic violence awareness, please, on January 8th at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to launch this book on Amazon. And with your support, not only will this book touch the right people, but it will go an international bestseller. Again, so awareness, not just here in the U.S., which, by the way, I like to say this again, because look at the statistics. Again, women are more likely to be killed by an intimate partner than men. Women ages 20 and 24 are at greatest risk of becoming victims of domestic violence. And I just shared with you, Gabby Petito, they're looking national manhunt right now.
Right. It's on the world stage for everybody to see. Something clearly happened. She's dead. She's dead. So that's why it's important for women to get this book, to write their story, and hopefully, prayerfully, it also is a call for men to heal, because we all need. The truth is, we all need healing at some level. That's the truth. Would you agree?
Yeah.
We all need healing at some level. Some of us are just more damaged and more unconscious than others, and we're afraid to face it. Men are the worst too. We just sometimes we're just holding it in. Where's it going to go? It's not going to go in the right place. So we need to heal. We need to heal through connecting with the co-author network, writing your story, connecting in community, connecting with groups. Sometimes the most difficult thing you can do is pick up that phone and send that text. I need help. I need help. Sometimes is the boldest, courageous thing you'll ever do. And it leads to greater things.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the business book, is it boot camp or book camp?
A boot camp. Yeah, it's kind of a play on words, but
boot camp. Okay. That's January the 8th, 2022. And it's a beautiful facility from what I understand.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful facility. And you got the guy in Camden who have the address. Behind Closed Doors will launch and go bestseller. I believe it will too.
Yeah. And Austin, and if you don't mind me sharing this, while it sounds cliche, if you see something, say something, right? And so right now, if you know someone that's going through a domestic violence situation, or you feel, do a wellness check, right? Because what we're hearing on the back end is that people were silent, that people, the women that came out and said, I knew so-and-so knew something, but they didn't step in and say anything. I was terrified myself for my kids, for my safety, and someone could have helped. Someone could have broken that chain of violence. So, honestly, if you see something, something, reach out, call in. They call it a wellness check, where the cops would go in or an investigation, and that could just be enough to disrupt this cycle of violence. You may save a life.
You may save a life. Amen to that.
Yeah, brother.
Michelle's grabbing a point. It's also the children involved that need healing as well.
Yeah.
True.
And you know what, Austin, if you don't mind, because we're on the subject, and but I've had the opportunity because of my history with drug addiction and alcoholism, that when you are in the private rooms of AA, NA, anything that begins with an A, when you speak and you're in these rooms, there is that history that they were abused, their mother was abused, or they were molested themselves. So this is far-reaching. This isn't just a book, or this isn't just about a man hitting a woman. The implications and the consequences are far more reaching. And then it speaks to the prison population, right? Because people end up in jail. Why?
Yeah.
Hurt people hurt people.
Yep. So we got 2 minutes left. I want to share the final accountability quote. Emilio, while I'm doing that, if you want to talk about accountability, because that's our theme.
Amen.
Close out. It's accountability.
Yes. Yes. Accountability. I tell you what, Austin, you have really provided a great resource for not only Daniela and I, when we've attended all of your live events. We absolutely missed those live events. We've also brought you over to the University of Pennsylvania, the Ivy League school with the veterans. And so they loved you. It was interesting. Quickly, we talked about when I went there and I was the lead speaker, you came with me, and they didn't remember anything I said. They said, where's that get free, stay present, move forward guy?
Yeah.
They love your message.
Yeah. So accountability is the glue that ties commitment to the results. What we're building here with my community is accountability. It's called ACT. Accountability, community, coaching that leads to your transformation. And the one thing that I'll offer you is you can join our private community. Emilio, you're in our private Facebook group right now.
Yes.
So you can join that. That's complimentary. If you just want to get, like, you're not ready to, you're just learning. You're like, I want to stick my toe in and learn more. We have a private Facebook group. You can jump in. There's a great people in there. I've just been blessed to attract people like Emilio, Daniela, Carmen just came into our private group today. Michelle is in there. Everybody that's in that group, it's a more intimate group where people share things, and we are just opening it up because we want to reach more people with a positive message that there is a community. There's an African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. And my belief is it never stops. It takes a village to continue to grow as adults. We must continue to grow as adults. It never stops. So this is Flashpoint. Emilio, I'm up against the time crunch here. I'm so glad that you stepped in for Daniela. Daniela, we love you. Get well. We'll do this again at another point. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great Flashpoint Friday. Bye for now.